you like the funny song now that I sing to you? Okay, it goes like
yes.
this. Happy birthday to you. You live in the zoo. You look like a monkey. And you smell like 1, 2. Woo! Give a clap, everybody.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy G Money, aka the Echelon Don. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. And this is another episode of Sidewalk Talk. Now, I ask y'all a question. What year is we in right now? Is this 2025? Is this 2025, man? Because the shit that's going on can't be happening in 2025. Happy birthday to the 6-year-old boy, Legend Whitaker, in Florida. He had a birthday, and what you just seen, they sung happy birthday to him. The class did. And then the teacher decided that she wanted to sing a remix birthday song and calling him a monkey and telling him he looks like a monkey. He belongs in a zoo and he smells like a monkey too. And she thought that shit was funny to do. She thought that shit was appropriate to do in a classroom full of white kids that don't know any better. There was like one other black student in that classroom in which he didn't laugh at that shit because he even looked at the teacher like, what? Like them kids is only 6 years old and was old enough to know that that song was disrespectful to them. And she's laughing in their faces about it. She's a grown woman. She's a grown Caucasian woman laughing in these little black kids' faces with a racist birthday song. The mother is demanding an apology because the teacher actually had the nerve to send the video to the parent. Like, that was like some hilarious shit that did she think that the parent was going to find that funny? What is going on with you? Has Trump got y'all losing y'all fucking minds? Are some of you Caucasian people losing y'all fucking minds? Do y'all think a racist black joke, a racist birthday joke to somebody's kids was gonna be funny to the parents? Y'all think we are those old slaves that y'all used to have back in the day that was yes sir, massa, no sir, no sir, yes sir, yes sir, massa. No, we are not them. We don't bow down to y'all and worship the ground y'all walk on. We not your slaves. We will whoop your ass. Yo, if that was my if that was my son that they did that to, that she did that to, I would have to tell my girl, the mother, hey, we got to go up here and we might not make it out. We might be going to jail because somebody need their ass whooped behind that. You don't disrespect. You don't play around with people's kids. You don't do that shit, man. And you're teaching racism in your classroom in front of a bunch of other little young minds that if they're not being taught that at home, you teaching it in the classroom. Now they're gonna be on the internet as they get older, calling black people monkeys and shit like that because you're joking around and putting it in their heads about black people right in front of them in the classroom. In 2025, this is what we're sending our kids to school to be taught, to be disrespected in the classroom. Can't even send them to school because a motherfucker like her thinks that this shit is funny. Somebody that's supposed to be educated doesn't have the mental ability to think and say, this might not be appropriate for me to call this little kid a monkey on his birthday. Call him a monkey, period. But to sing a song about him being a monkey in front of a bunch of white children on his birthday. And I'm glad that that the little black kids did not laugh at that shit. Like, he was confused. He was looking around like what the fuck? And the other black kid behind him, if you look at the other black kid face, he's just stunned, like wow, did she really just say that? Is she really singing that? I'm glad that them black kids didn't join in with the laughter and laugh with them like they joined in on that joke, because that shit wasn't a joke. That shit wasn't funny. And I'm glad that they were mature enough to understand that they were being disrespected. That teacher needs to never be able to work again. She need her ass whooped. Honestly, she need her ass whooped. Um, some of you racists I don't even think you know that you're racist. I don't even think she thinks she's racist, because I think she just thought it was all fun and games and it was no harm meant. I really think she think it was no harm meant in that shit. And that's why she sent it to the parent, because she probably thought that they would get a laugh out of that shit and didn't realize how disrespectful that shit was. Some people do racist shit and don't even realize they doing racist shit. A racist completely won't even know that they are racist. They oh, I was just joking. I really didn't mean anything about. Oh my goodness! Like, I can't believe I just seen this video. I can't believe 2025. A teacher is singing a racist birthday song in front of a classroom full of white kids to a black student and calling them a monkey, and thought that that shit was acceptable, appropriate. Are you kidding me? Man, violence is not something that I promote. I don't promote violence, but some people need wake up calls. Some people need a good physical teaching or good physical altercation to understand that there's certain lines and shit that you don't cross, and you don't fuck around and play around with people kids, disrespect people kids. Because people are willing to die and go to jail. People are willing to the ultimate sacrifice over their kids. Don't play about their kids. And you lucky that that mother is just wanting an apology, because there have been other mothers that wouldn't have said a word. They would have saw that videotape and they would have been up at that school in a heartbeat. And your ass would have been getting tossed around that whole classroom. Happy birthday to that young man, Legend Whitaker, who turned 6 years old. I'm glad that you didn't laugh at that racist joke, that racist song. Also, shout out to the other black student in the classroom that also noticed that they were being disrespected and didn't join in the laughter of that racist ass song. Y'all too old, y'all too young to have to be dealing with some shit like that, but y'all showed a lot of maturity and not joining in on a joke that was on y'all. That teacher don't ever need to be able to walk foot in another school ever again. And I hope that something gets done about that. But it probably won't. It probably get brushed under the rug. And just imagine all the other shit that's going on in these schools that's not being recorded or reported. And like I said, she thought that that shit was harmless fun. She actually sent that videotape herself. That wasn't somebody that caught her doing it. Her. I mean, that's unbelievable. She thought that the parents was gonna actually watch that and think that that was okay. I gotta end this video because this shit's making me madder and madder even thinking about it. It's your boy G Money, aka the Echelon Don. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. And this is another episode of Sidewalk Talk. Before I end this, I wanted to say, this I had an incident like this with me in school when I was younger. And I went to a school that was predominantly white. And then, it was some black students started getting into that school. Because I grew up in the hood, went to a lot of hood schools, but then my mom's moved us out of the hood to a suburban area, and we lived in an apartment complex. And so I ended up going to a suburban school, for my first time, and being around white people and stuff like that, white kids. And so, so I had some interactions with white kids and growing up and teachers and stuff. And I remember this one teacher we had. It was I think it was our history teacher. Um and I remember one day he said he was talking about presidents. And he was talking about why we would never have a president in this culture or race. And he made jokes about, we would never have a black president. He said this in the classroom. I remember being young listening to this, but he made it so jokingly. He tried to make it so jokingly that being young, you didn't really peep the racism in it because he was just saying it so slick. But as I got older, I said, man, that was some racist shit. He was like, there'll never be a black president. The, next thing you know, they'll be all barbecuing in the backyard with music blasting and blah blah blah. He was like making jokes and shit, and trying to trying to be funny about it, but trying to put humor into it so it didn't sound racist. He talked about Mexicans. He named them every race, but made sure that it was like the white race was okay to be president. No other race was acceptable except for the white race. And as us being young kids, him joking the way he did it, we didn't see the racism in it because of how jokingly he put it and how he included all these other races. But that shit was racist as hell because he was basically saying only white people were suitable to be the president. I wish I could have ran into him later on in life after Obama got in there. But I just wanted to say that real quick. But yeah, this shit been going on for a long time, man. But I still can't believe that she would do some shit like that in 2020, 25 to a little kid on his birthday. But I'm out, man. Y'all be safe out there. God bless y'all, and we got to do better. I'm out.